In recent days, tensions between the United States and Venezuela have escalated sharply. Iran, speaking out strongly, has accused Washington of crossing legal and moral lines by carrying out military strikes against Venezuelan vessels. Tehran insists these attacks violate international norms and threaten regional peace. Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman Ismail Baqiai issued a forceful statement condemning the U.S. actions as a clear violation of the UN Charter and basic principles of international law. He argued that these strikes show a pattern of U.S. overreach and unilateralism that must be checked by the global community. Baqiai warned that if such aggression is allowed to continue unchecked, it could pull the Caribbean and Latin America into spirals of instability. He urged the United Nations, particularly the Security Council and Secretary General, to step in and halt what he described as dangerous interference. According to multiple media reports, the U.S. military recently launched 4 deadly attacks in the Caribbean region, part of a broader operation begun in August with the stated goal of combating drug trafficking. This military force includes destroyers, submarines, anti-submarine aircraft, and advanced jets such as the F-35. Washington claims these strikes targeted vessels moving illegal narcotics toward U.S. territory. But Caracas strongly rejects that narrative, insisting the accusations are fabricated and intended to justify military intervention. Venezuela insists many of the targeted ships were fishing boats or civilian vessels. In response, Venezuela declared a national emergency, mobilized its armed forces, and called on local militias to defend its maritime sovereignty. President Nicolas Maduro vowed that any aggression against his country would provoke a united regional pushback. He emphasized that Venezuela would not allow itself to become a colony or subordinate to foreign powers. On Thursday, Venezuela officially requested an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council to address what it calls U.S. hostilities near its coastal waters. Caracas said the escalation poses immediate threats to its sovereignty, regional stability, and international law. Meanwhile, the United Nations itself has expressed concern about the rising tension in the Caribbean. Some Security Council members have warned that unilateral military operations risk undermining multilateral order. Russia, in particular, has faulted the U.S. for acting without investigation or restraint. On the diplomatic front, Iran's critique of the U.S. aligns with its long-standing alliance with Venezuela. The two nations share a history of political cooperation in energy, trade, and resistance to U.S. pressure. Iran sees Venezuela's case as a symbol of resisting external coercion. Baqiai specifically condemned attacks on fishing vessels and warned that threats to use force against Venezuela's territorial integrity violate Article 2 of the UN Charter. He called for all parties to respect national sovereignty and to settle disputes via judicial or diplomatic channels, not by force. Some analysts note that if Washington becomes accustomed to launching military actions under the guise of drug enforcement, it may set a dangerous precedent. Sovereign nations may feel compelled to militarize their coastlines, and regional cooperation may fray. Others warn that attacks without transparency, due process, or international mandate risk fueling wider conflict. In sum, Iran's strong condemnation seeks not just to defend Venezuela, but to challenge a broader pattern of military activism by powerful states. Whether the UN or regional actors will act to restrain further escalation remains uncertain. But the stakes for international order and stability are high.